Hey guys, I'm back again, and today I have a really great weight bearing exercise for those of you at home who are able to stand fairly well, and also if you're able to not necessarily walk. You don't have to be a great walker at this point, but if you can stand well with good balance and you're able to take side steps either to the right or to the left. Now, if you can do those things safely or with a little bit of support or help from someone else, then this exercise is for you. So, again, this is for weight bearing through your weaker arm. So, again, when we do weight bearing, it's always going to be for those of you who have um, weakness in your affected arm to the point where you're not able to easily raise your arm to shoulder level, or you can maybe move some, but it looks like this, like you're hiking a lot or having to do all these other funky things to get your arm up. So if you have weakness in your arm to that extent, then weight bearing is a great strengthening exercise that you can try. Also, some of you may be able to stand and even walk, but maybe don't have any movement left or any movement happening in that arm. Weight bearing is also going to be great for you. Okay. I did do a video showing this almost exact exercise, but you're just standing statically, right? So that might be more of the part one, right? So maybe you can stand, but maybe your balance isn't 100%, or you do need someone there to support you quite a bit. That's fine. Stand statically and then put weight through the little putty balls, and we'll talk about that. Now, I call this part two or more advanced because in addition to how I showed in the previous video, not only are you going to be able to stand, so you'll be getting great weight bearing and strengthening in through the legs, your core, right? But also, in addition to going through the upper extremity, so the weight bearing exercise for the arm, you will also be challenging your balance and coordination by sidestepping and advancing along the length of the table. So here, and I talked about this before, I have this is just homemade Play-Doh. I literally made this in like 10 minutes with, I think it was flour, salt, vinegar. I think that's it. Something else. But if you want it, shoot me a comment and I'll send you the recipe, or you can just Google it. It's very easy. If you want to use like traditional Putty, you can order that on Amazon. You may have some from your rehab. If you did any kind of therapy, you may have gone home with a little container of the Putty. You can use that too. If you have kids and they've got regular Play-Doh, anything you can grab and make little balls out of. And again, you don't have to, but I do like to use this a lot when I'm working with my patients at work because it's more tactile, right? Like you can feel it. And also for someone who has a lot of weakness, when you actually can see the effects of your efforts, and it's just a visual thing as well. So use it or don't use it. But the main thing is you're going to be standing hip width distance apart. And again, primary focus for this exercise is getting some good weight through this affected arm. Okay. Anytime we stand, our legs get tons of attention, tons of weight bearing. But to get weight bearing through a weaker arm and shoulder, you really have to get creative and get yourself into these kind of different, unique positions to really strategically get weight through that arm. So this is just one of those exercises. So again, I'm calling this more advanced because I'm going to be sidestepping along the table, almost like assembly line style. So you're going to start at your first ball of putty or Play-Doh or whatever you're using. Depending on how weak or strong your arm is, you may be able to get yourself. You want the base of the palm right on the ball of Play-Doh or putty. But the main number one thing you're going to have to try to do, figure out a way to keep this elbow locked out, right? And I talk about this in the other video where if you really do not have much tricep strength, or you're not able to hold that arm extended, which most people at this level probably aren't, there is a natural way that you can lock out this elbow just by externally rotating, meaning turning the fingers clockwise, right, to the right, so that the wrist goes back. You don't have to go all the way back, but any amount that you can get. If you can see my fingers here, if I'm fingers forward and I put weight and I don't have strength in my arm here in the back of my arm, my elbow is going to buckle, right? Instantly, right? You might not even be able to get it in this position. But if I can gently turn my wrist to the right, now just the mechanics and anatomical mechanics of the arm, it naturally will kind of lock out your elbow. Now you're still going to want a spotter if you need someone to spot you, or if your balance is really good and you're able to use your other hand to just hold yourself in this position, then you can do that for yourself. Other options are using an air splint. I've mentioned that in other videos. They're a little bit pricey, but you can also order those on Amazon. You'll put it on your arm, inflate it with air, and it'll help lock out your arm. You can also try a pillow splint. Sometimes those work as well. But the main thing you want to do, like I mentioned before, stand with legs and feet hip distance apart. Get your hand locked out in any way that you're able to do. Get the base of the base of the hand lined up right over that putty and press down, okay? And this is when the weight bearing is happening. Now, if you are able to use an air splint or a pillow splint to help or something else to lock out your arm for you, then it doesn't matter how you have your hand. You can keep your hand forward. But again, if you're going to try this without any other like external support to help hold that arm straight and locked out, then you're going to want to you keep your arm, your hand rotated out, or try to hold it yourself. So again, you're going to press down and hold it. I always say press once you're at that end range at the table and the putty. Press 3, 4, 5 seconds. Come up, bring the arm up, and go to the next spot and do it again. Try to stack, lean over, and get the weight in through the shoulder. If you're someone that doesn't have a lot of movement in the shoulder yet, just putting weight through that joint can kind of spark those nerve endings in there and help those muscles want to turn on, right? And I always say it's not a magic wand. It's not going to make muscles start working that aren't working. But if there are muscles that are planning and we're going to already come back, this is just a nice way to jumpstart that process. Also, if you have movement, some muscles working, but it's just really weak, this is a phenomenal way to just strengthen, because when you weight bear and push down and in, just putting weight through a joint is going to force all those muscles, all those stabilizer muscles for that joint. They're going to immediately turn on. It's just like a switch, right? And so it's just kind of sends some signals in there. Hey, come on, let's go. We got to work, So that's the idea of it. And as you start to press down on your little balls of putty, take like a little side step to the next one, and then you just right back in it and you press again. So again, you're getting good strengthening and weight bearing and input into this weaker arm and shoulder. As you stand, you're working on your core, your legs, obviously. And then as you're stepping, it's just an even more higher level, advanced, dynamic movement, core strengthening and balance, right? So this is a doozy. This is why I call it, it's definitely more advanced than what I showed in my previous video. If you're not able to do this safely, then don't. This is just giving you guys ideas and things that you can work towards if and when you're able to do so. And always, always have someone there with you if you need that support. You don't have to do all of these things on your own. If you need support and don't have someone there, then hold off on these exercises, because your safety is paramount. It's number one, right? Always have something behind you to fall back on, or not fall, don't fall, but if you lose your balance or you get really tired and you need to sit, have something already there, whether it's your wheelchair, anything, something sturdy, and if it has wheels, make sure it's locked, that you can sit on, okay? I hope this was helpful. If anyone has any questions, please shoot me a comment and I will help any way that I can. All right, I hope this was helpful, guys, and I'll see you next time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more DIY videos to help you along the way in your stroke recovery. Struggling at home? Have a question? Leave me a comment. I'm here to help.